Wednesday, Mukund Krishna, Chief Executive of the Police Federation of England and Wales, was arrested on suspicion of corruption and fraud after raids at Federation House and residences in Wales, Somerset and London.
So didn't have to participate in the disciplinary hearing. She'd already resigned from the police and is pursuing a career as a model. But despite giving evidence in her own defence, the panel ruled she had been sloppy in her police work and dishonest when questioned about it. The hearing was told that the murder of Sarah Everard had caused shockwaves which impacted public trust in the police. The prosecution of Wayne Couzens, the policeman who raped and killed her, had revealed he could have been arrested before the murder.
You can't look me in the eye and say there's not another Wayne Couzens in the force at the moment, can you, Commissioner?
I can't look you in the eye and say that we haven't got officers who are treating women appallingly. Absolutely not. The evidence says that we do, and I'm going to sort it.
Okay.
In 1980, that was the very first time that I'd ever seen a British police constable. And I remember landing at Heathrow with my family and seeing for the first time two men who were wearing police caps, hats, those round things, whatever they're called. It was during the summer, and they had white, short-sleeved, press shirts, black pants, and polished shoes. And that was the first time I'd ever seen police constables. And they made an impression upon me because of the way that they were dressed. They were impeccable, and they looked really smart. That was in 1980. When I came to live in the UK many years later, I encountered, British police constables. I always found them to be very fair and pleasant. I never really had any bad dealings with them. But later on, before I left the UK, I noticed that there was a change in the way that the police were speaking to the public. And it wasn't the same that it used to be. That said, I personally believe that in the last 20 years, there has been a very proactive attempt to destroy the police constable in the UK, and they've succeeded. One only has to look at the recent events concerning police, such as Mr. Couzens. Mr. Couzens, as I think everyone around the world knows, was a psychotic monster that could have been and should have been stopped long before he did what he did to that young girl. And as you've seen in the video clips, the only person that seems to be held responsible for that was a young police constable by the name of Lee. As per usual, the people at the top escape, and the people at the bottom take all the blame. Something that has never ever been properly investigated or released to the public is this. When the police were going to arrest Couzens, who lived in Kent, a friend of his rang him and told him to wipe his phone because the police were coming to arrest him. And that person has never, ever been charged with perverting the course of justice or any other criminal offense, even though the Met knows who this person is. But they went after that young PC, Lee. That's how bad the system has become. And as you've seen from what happened in Southampton last night, things are changing in this country, and they're changing for the worst. The police are beginning to realize that the public won't just sit there and take this any longer. That there will be fightbacks, that there will be a stand made against the behavior of the regime and its actors, in this case, the police. The British people just won't take this forever. And I think they know that. There's a clip there from the head of the Met where he said he was going to deal with the number of people in his establishment who abuse women. Well, he currently has 86 police constables in the Met who have been convicted in a court of law of abusing women for one reason or another. And to be fair to him, he actually did go to the High Court to try and get rid of these monsters. And the High Court says he couldn't do it. So that just goes to show you that this individual is not in charge of his own ship. If you can't remove a police constable that's been into a court of law, convicted of a criminal offense against a woman, try to remove them, can't even remove them through the High Court, you have a serious problem on your hands. And this is one of the reasons why the police are no longer trusted in England. Even today, there was a policeman arrested for somewhere in the north of England for looking at pictures of children. And that's a regular occurrence every single day. And it's a shame what has happened to the police constable. But at the end of the day, they're responsible for their own actions. And it's the public that's going to have to hold them to account, because the people who run the police, and as you've seen with the High Court, they're not going to do anything that's in the interest of the citizen. And I think that's the way it's going to be. Take care. God bless.